The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Alabama.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
As it complete to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense. And now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
Back to throw again. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll run. It's Ken Walker. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Seahawks put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now here are the Giants as they'll get their first opportunity here. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on a national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise, no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A beautiful fake. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking.
Looking for Jaxson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reek Woolen, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Certainly not the best of throws that time from the rookie QB.
And now he'll need the support from the home crowd and the hometown fans, because they know they've got a gem here. They know they've got a good player, but there will be mistakes along the way. They will have to show some patience in order to help him along.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. This is Fant on the short completion, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Going right back to Fant. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here now, a 3rd down and 8. Back to throw here. This is the tight end Fant. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The ball on the 8 still could get a 1st down technically. 2nd and 7. Now back to throw. And it's caught. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. That time a 9-play drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Once again, he finds Slayton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 1st downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep is Steven Sims. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Throw left side, complete to Cup.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
2nd and 9. Back to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Brian Burns from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the 1st quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. They'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. New York set to take the field. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team Needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Derek Hall in there that time to get him to the turf.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Second and 1. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Walker. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Flushed out right. And he's taken down inside the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on second down. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
On play action, they'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Tracy. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Right back to Tracy. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Giants on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
But it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And this will be incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's second down. They're going to look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Running free at the 45.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 40 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw here. This is Fant on the short completion. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Brian Burns, his 2nd sack of the night. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you give him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll set up to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the Giants ready to come out now.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The Seahawks offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw here. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now.
So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing they're worried about dominating now, the post-game meal.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4.
He'll look to throw.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Tracy going to get it on first down.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking it.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And it's caught on the deflection. And this is going to be a touchdown.
Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Gano the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
2nd down and 4.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker
with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that stretches the lead to 27. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Now back to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They'll look to throw again. That is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. The slot man in motion right. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
They'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it, because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
Gano's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Now they'll fake the jet sweep here and throw off play action.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll drop to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, good move. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced incompletion.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Tracy trying the right side.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
You know when I could tell this was going to end really badly? When he launched himself behind the line and made a beeline for the ball carrier. You get one of those tackling machines in the middle on your trail, things are normally ending pretty quickly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Derek Hall
able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Quickly into the hands of Neighbors off the RPO.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now a 2nd and 2.
They're going to look to throw. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown! A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Giants are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done, and it'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
The Giants on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll set up to throw.
Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
The short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism,
great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their body.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The visitors' offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Second and 10.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 15. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Giants offense and receiver Malik Neighbors headed onto the field. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
Here we go on 2nd and 12.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
127 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Powering his way forward.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
And now out come the Giants.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll set up a throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Looking to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Now 2nd and 9.
Now back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here. And I think the ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth-quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll drop to throw. Catch made by Slayton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Wan'Dale Robinson.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The fourth-quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
They'll look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
On the counter, it's Walker.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Back to throw here. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Dexter Lawrence, his 2nd sack of the night.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Pushing his way through.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. This one is Slayton over the middle. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.